Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm going to talk about assessing integrated language and content instruction as a framework for organizing assessment objectives using alternative assessment measures. First, we have to talk about integrated assessment. Why integrated? Because we're talking about language instruction and content instruction. In language instruction, we include the lexicon, language skills, the fluency, the proficiency, and the reading skills that each student should have. While in the content instruction, we include the meaningful context, the content mastery, the grade level curriculum, and the mainstream courses that students should have. Why language and content integrated assessment? First, it develops academic language ability. Then it facilitates student transition to mainstream courses. It also increases student motivational and interest into contents. It makes ESL, English Second Language learners, students feel part of the mainstream school curricula as language. And it isolates language features from the objectives, so no one would say that it adversely influences on the other. Language and content instruction provides a solution to the dilemma of how to teach English to linguistically and culturally diverse students. Content-based instruction, teachers use content topics rather than grammar rules or vocabulary lists. Teachers have been trained in ESL techniques, enabling them to adjust instruction to meet student needs. ESL techniques should include visual aids, demonstrations, graphical organizers, thinking, study skills, and most of all, communication skills development. It also, the content language instruction provides students opportunities to use language in meaningful contexts. Now, there is a reform. ESL and bilingual instruction are only given at early stages. What happens? Imprecise measurements of students' abilities are given both in language and content instruction. It brings dropout and early exit. Then, what is needed? An additional assessment instruments that meet the academic demand of the mainstream curricula. The skill assessment tools to link school instruction to workplaces are needed also. When we have this workplace, we should include in that curricula everything that is needed for that workplace. Now, assessing the integration of language and content. What can be done? A good assessment is recognized as that which reflects actual classroom practices, not a one-time standardized exam. Teachers can distinguish between the language and the content knowledge of the students and decide if one is interfering with the other when it's demonstrated. For example, math and English proficiency. Does math interfere in English, or does English interfere in the math proficiency? Objectives should be defined before designing or choosing any instructional procedure for a lesson or for an exam. And then we should talk about flexibility, formal and informal assessments. Be open. Now, what about time? More or less, teacher decides. The proposal for this assessment, an assessment framework with the underlying philosophy that alternative measures should be incorporated into lesson planning frequently and informally as a significant part of instruction. The successful implementation of framework requires, first, students to be given frequent opportunities to demonstrate the growth of their knowledge base. Second, assessment tools to be varied to meet individual learning styles, needs, and current skill levels. And third, students to be aware of the assessment objectives in advance. A matrix can be done. The assessment matrix includes the assessed skills and the assessment measures. The assessment skills are problem solving, content area skills, concept comprehension, language use, communication skills, individual behavior, group behavior, and attitude, while the assessment measures include skill and concept checklists, reading and writing inventories, anecdotal records, teacher observations, student self-evaluations, portfolios, performance, manipulatives, written essays, reports, oral reports, and student interviews. Thank you.